Here we go. It's time for the Lanxess Arena to kick off our grand finals. We know it is just going to be one best of 5 to determine, of course, the champions of ESL One Cologne, whether that of SK, the Brazilians will defend their throne and returning from 2016, or if we get to see North Americans win on European soil for the first time in 12 years. So much to be talked about, but we're not there just yet. Before we do jump into a best of 5, we have a treat for both you and for the crowd. We're in Germany, and we have got a very special treat for the guys in the arena, and of course, for us here, the casters, as well as myself. In fact, I'll introduce them now as we walk further, closer and closer to the Meisterschaft. I don't know, it's like a special treat, isn't it? We're basically going to be kicking off the day with something a bit different. In Germany, 2 German teams, of course, the Meisterschaft is that German Premiership. Yep. We have aTTaX and Big doing a best-of-1 battle. I'm happy to see Big on this stage. I think a lot of people have started to believe in these guys coming through the German scene. You know, the Mouse Sports roster kind of fell away from being, you know, that all-German sort of scene. Still got a couple of players there, obviously. Yep. But it's all about Big for me. These guys, they've got a lot to prove. And the crowd has been absolutely making abundance of noise for non-German players. Imagine what's going to happen here for this bit of fun. Yeah, they're going to love it, aren't they? And especially because Big just qualified for the major as well. Right. So I mean, they're ready to get behind this team certainly. But it's just like a culmination. I think it's just a really cool thing for Big after like 6 months of this hard work, qualifying for Pro League, qualifying for the major. Now they've made all the right steps. They've worked their way all the way to this point. So this is just a cool treat to get and play in front of the home crowd. And perhaps a glimpse of what 2018 ESL One Cologne could look like. Let's not forget they were, you know, stopped by Heroic. One chance. They were so close. That final in the qualification process, Heroic took it away from them, but they still get a little taste of what maybe the next year's ESL One Cologne could feel like. Yeah, imagine, you know, if there's any reason to get even more motivated to grind it out even harder, these guys are starting to make waves, you know what I mean? They're, as said, in Pro League, majors coming up soon. It's all looking good. This could be just that little bit more to just fire them up. I hadn't quite thought about that. It's like, in terms of checklist of successes for a team, in terms of growth, they've kind of done everything, haven't they? Yeah, it's been lovely. Been a big year for them. And on the other side of the stage, aTTaX, you hung out in Atlanta with them. They caused a big upset and a stir in terms of just getting to E-League Season 2. Yeah, they were one of the teams that that qualified to the online portions, upsetting Godsend and actually knocking them out of E-League Season 2. So yeah, they qualified there. Had a little bit of a rough time. It was a real welcome to the pros moment. But I think one of the good things that came out of their performance at E-League was Kiev. And the funny thing is, he's now on Big. So taking away that heavy hitter from the aTTaX side, and we haven't heard about them much since. No, but it's the thing with the German scene, right? If you follow the Meisterschaft, if you ever go on the HLTV profiles or the team page for these, you'll see like 20 players. They recycle players through. You'll kind of see the same faces coming back in. And this roster's certainly not bad. You've got Crisby in there. You've got Tizian. You know, common names you're very well aware of. And actually in the Meisterschaft, they're doing better than Big currently. So I don't think you can quite put them, you know, massively on the back foot. I guess overall, this should very much go Big's way. But again, Cobble's not exactly in their current map pool either for Big. And this is the fun part. I want to make sure we set the scene properly here. They knew the map months in advance. aTTaX and Big, pride and that crowd on your side, like you basically are going to do your homework. I was talking to Tabson previously just outside, and he said, yeah, apparently they've been prepping, you know, about a week for one map versus us. So this is probably going to be a little intense. This is going to be an intense 30 rounds. That's where you see, because I think everyone's going to make Big like the massive favorite in this, right? Like they just look like the team that's just going to steamroll this match. But if there's one saving grace, like we always talk about in these kind of situations, is, you know, Big has to prepare 7 maps, and they have to prepare for all the best teams in the world coming into the major next week. This can't be their primary focus. And aTTaX, this is about all they've got. So it's just like, all right, pour everything you've got for the next week into just this one game, this one map. They get the big crowd experience, and actually someone who is no stranger to the big crowd experience is celebrating a very special day. This is the grand finals of ESL One Cologne 2017, and it marks the 200th event of Paul Red Eye Challoner. He's been my boss, he's been an idol to many, he's also traveled the world talking about video games, and now he's about to take to the stage for the final day of ESL One Cologne. So please, Lanxess, give him a warm welcome. Paul Red Eye Challoner celebrating the big 200.
Thank you very much, that's very kind. It's going to be a big day for lots of Counter-Strike. We've got 2 teams with us right now on the stage who are ready to fight in front of all of you guys, and I know one's quite familiar with that, which is God B. God, we'll start with you. This is great for you guys to come here and play on this stage in front of all the German fans.
Of course it's great. What can I say?
Does it add a bit more pressure to the game? Because this ordinarily would be a regular season game, wouldn't it?
No, we're just taking it as a bonus to come here and chill with our fans, and we will see you later, guys.
Okay. Crisby, I guess These guys have been in a good bit of form recently, so this is going to be a tough game, right?
Yeah, sure, but we prepared well. We want revenge for the finals of the last German championship. So, yeah, it's going to be close.
Okay, and in terms of... He's not listening right now, so just whisper in my ear. You've got anything planned for Cobble?
Yeah, sure. We're prepared. Some anti is ready.
Okay. You've been all right on Cobble recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
I love interviews with Godby. He's just full of words, just oozes out of his mouth.
No, we... Nothing more to say, or?
What more? What more could you say? I do want you to have a few words, though, because we are in Germany. It is Cologne. You're both German teams. I would like you to have a few words in German for your fans.
Ja, sure. Erstmal Dankeschön, dass ihr alle gekommen seid. Die ESL wird mir zustimmen, dass das letzte FNG nicht so vollgepackt war wie dieses. Also erstmal Dankeschön dafür und unterstützt auf jeden Fall das Spiel und die Teams, für die ihr cheert, aber auf jeden Fall das Spiel. Okay, Dankeschön, dass ihr gekommen seid.
Yeah, Dankeschön. Crispy, same thing. Just a few words for your fans out here.
Danke fürs zahlreiche Erscheinen. Ich hoffe, wir haben auch ein paar aTTaX-Fans hier, auch wenn natürlich der Big Hype groß ist. Und ja, auf ein gutes Spiel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Big versus Alternate aTTaX is coming up next.
All right, it's all going down on stage there. You've got to love Godby in those situations, right? The guy's like a tactical genius. Asks like any question, you know, secret preparation? Sure.
Yeah, not
gives
giving
away
anything up,
nothing.
right? Yep.
It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Listen, I remember as well, I mean, the first time we were in this arena back in 2015, Godby came onto the desk after Mouse Sports had been eliminated. He got a pretty rousing round of applause from the crowd. So definitely a fan favorite here. And obviously, I think especially the crazy thing with his big team is not just the success they've had as a team, is the amount of following they kind of carry with them. There's a lot of people here really, really loving this team at the moment. And I mean, when you have a guy like Godby, who's just so cool, such a legend of Counter-Strike, and then you have a guy like Tapson, who's one of the most exciting players we have in the scene at the moment, there's a lot of reasons to be pumped for this squad.
And it's felt like we watched Big grow into what they are now, right? Because it started with this nice theory of, okay, Godby's this great in-game leader, but we haven't seen those in-game leaders for a while, right? You had the classics of what, Existence, you know, having a tough time, Pronax kind of, you know, falling to the shadows a little bit, but then Godby's found a way back in.
Yeah, it seemed that the meta shift has really, really kind of helped them out, hasn't it? These kind of more in-depth, tactical, strategic leaders. It seems like they're having a big resurgence of form here, and that's quite nice. I mean, you always want to see the guys who have a history in the game perform well.
Yeah, we are just waiting on the big boys to get in the server. Need to not call them big boys. As,
that's a bit rude, I think.
Hey, it's fine. They'll be fine. But no, I am looking forward to this. Because, as I said, I think Big is starting to get some big fans behind them, starting to build up a fan base, because there's a lot to be excited about. They're one of those teams that have crazy amounts of nuance, right? They're the ones that do the really keen, sweaty work, which we saw recently, right? Like, not the first person to find it, but the first person to utilize it on Cash, for example, that little head peek. Cash CT side on highway, peeking up and over, but they've done this for so long. The amount of work these guys put into just kind of working small things out is ridiculous. Yeah. Like being able to hear certain aspects of the game, like if you're on the first base level of a map, or if it makes a further sound when you're on the higher, like elevated level. Godby goes around these maps and finds it. Same with Legia. Those two are the little duo basically that puts all the hard work in, and they reap the rewards. That's
got to be the worst job in the team, doesn't it? That is like the boring work, like the things you never want to do playing a video game.
Hey, I found that fun. That's how I used to spend my evenings, Jason.
Well,
how dare you?
The puzzle pieces are really coming into place, aren't they?
I feel you're judging me.
A little bit, just a little bit.
But yeah, for alternate aTTaX, though, they're coming into this with, I don't know, a different atmosphere, I guess. You're coming up against, in theory, the more favored side. I guess you can imagine, you know, Big overall is starting to breach into, you know, cementing their place in the tier 1. They're looking extremely diligent at it as well. Alternate aTTaX is still good. They're actually very good overall. They're doing very nicely in the Meisterschaft. They can cause upsets. But do you see this being truly competitive?
It certainly can be. I think a lot of things would have to go right. The tough part is Kyiv was like their main powerhouse, you know, during when he was on this alternate aTTaX team during E-League Season 2, and he left it like immediately following that. He was just gone after that. So they really didn't have a whole lot. Now that's a different level of competition. That's playing against some of the better teams, you know, in the world at the time. And now Big isn't quite at that point yet, but that's just the question, is how much is this preparation really going to help him out? Who's going to show up? Who's going to be the star to fill the void of Kyiv? I don't know if you know the answer to that question, but actually, correct me if I'm wrong, this was like the highlight match of last season of Meisterschaft? The final? Yeah. Okay.
But there's certain history between these two, though. The things, especially when you play in the Meisterschaft, you kind of get used to the players. It may be with like different teams, might be like under playing ducks or mouse boards. You know, they've all kind of swapped and changed, and they kind of find their own places eventually. We are just letting the players warm up for a sec, if you guys are wondering, of course, at home, just getting everything sorted out on the server. They're readying up as we speak, so the knife round will be beginning shortly. But yeah, it chops and changes, right, until you get that right, you know, the combo right, until you get all the players who can fulfill that role. And we're finally starting to see it come together for the big side at least. I want to see if alternate aTTaX, though, have been able to prepare, right? When you're an underdog, you get away with it a little bit. You don't get looked at so much. You don't get the kind of critical eye. Whereas Big, they can have a lot of attention towards them. So alternate aTTaX have definitely been putting in their work. They're aware of it as well. Speaking to Tabson outside, he was saying, look, they've been putting a lot of work in towards Cbble recently. We know it as well. And it's going to be the knife round to start with. It is a best of one, bearing in mind. So it all happens right now, and a knife round is a great start.
Yeah, knife round is going to be quite nice. Oh, just playing the bottleneck. Not even really trying to lure him in. This is a bit dirty, isn't it?
This is a keen knife round.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought in this one. Let's get it over with, boys.
Come on, get in there.
I mean, speaking of Tabson, though, that's a guy who could just win this match single-handedly. Like, he's carried Big through stretches. We saw him at the major qualifier, just almost winning matches on his own. Here against Alternate, if he goes off, they're in for a really, really rough time.
All right, alternate aTTaX going to get choice of side.
Switching. They're going to go CT.
Not too surprising, I guess. If you just want to get comfortable on the stage, if you just want to feel it out, you don't want to, you know, get too much into your own head. But Big have very creative approaches. That's one thing you can look at, is how creative they can be.
We've also seen Big like choose to start on T sides like in matches before. Yep. So I mean, they're gonna be fine with this.
Yeah, they're not too fussed. But in case you are wondering, is Crisby, Stefan, Tizian, ECFN, and Marky playing in for alternate aTTaX? Pretty sure you know Big by now. I don't need to take you through those guys. You'll be seeing on your screen as we speak. So we're about to get this one started. Jason, where's your prediction?
I'm going with Big. I'm not gonna budge away from guys like Tabson and Gabi. I'm going with them.
You're a believer, firm believer.
I am a believer. I'm definitely a believer.
As you can hear, as you can see, it is time to get this one started. Alternate aTTaX having to go up against Big here for the Meisterschaft mid-season, and what a highlight it will be. But it looks like Big are not going to be sitting back resting on those laurels. They are already getting things started, but Crisby is forced off the angle.
Yeah, this is I like this from Big. This is like, keep it simple. Don't try and outplay yourselves. Don't get too tactical. You should have the skill advantage, and Tabson's going to lead the way. They have control of drop essentially for free, which is going to make them quite happy. The nade streaming out as well. When does the corner turns? Tabson still just shoulder peeking, trying to find something. Flashbang blinds him a little bit, but now he goes out. There's the follow-up. They're all blind, and there it is. Clean sweep. Yeah.
The timing was exceptional. The hit was powerful, and the retake is looking dire. Good work from Kyiv. Wants another as well. Oh, he's dancing now. Hoping for it. Tabson's there. A clean start. 5 alive. Good hit. Well formed. Big make their first statement.
There's like a nice little build-up to that execute, and then it just goes so well and so smooth that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that was always going to happen, wasn't it?
But it's nice to see this sort of CS, because we are seeing the powerhouses of, you know, your kind of, I guess, your phases, your French teams, I guess, quote-unquote, have that quite puggy style in a way, Fnatic as well, and then you come back to this and it's very scripted almost, and, you know, each have very much warranted ability. There's no taking away from what Fnatic, FaZe, and all those guys can achieve. They're very much in the strong suit, but it's nice to have a bit of a different look.
Well, Big's just one of those teams where if you're a fan of, like, theoretical Counter-Strike and, you know, how the game should be played, then they're a team you're going to want to watch.
Are they going to go for the deep molly and then peek over? I think they are. Yeah, here it comes. So deep molly goes in towards the boost. It's so awkward. Oh, that's so creative. I love it. This is brilliant stuff. And it is going to be ECFN at the helm of this one. But Godby still waits. He knows something's wrong here. He's trying to work out how he can get his team out of this. But so much ground gain. Great CT play. More and more teams finding ways to be aggressive on Cbble. I can't be upset at that.
Yeah, that is so sick that Alternate just pulled that out. Big is caught completely off guard. How awesome is that play, and how does Big recover? 3-on-4 situation against pistols. I mean, there's a lot invested in that kind of a play, a life, a lot of utility, but alternate is still going to keep the aggression up. Meanwhile, Gabi and aTTaX working their way towards platform. This is all on timing for someone like Kiev coming back. Ooh, and Gabi, this could catch them off.
They are considering it. You can see aTTaX on the X-ray just kind of watching to see if anyone peeks over, but Tizian is waiting on his own feel, his own timing. He can respond if someone else gets maybe a feeling of it. There it is, the counter boost. aTTaX up and over, didn't expect the follow-up, but still lands the shot. That's why his reputation is starting to become somewhat of a monster. But a 3v2 now, there's still threats on board as 24 seconds isn't much. One thing goes wrong, it can all spiral quite swiftly. The deagle from Cbble not going to connect on the first. The nade comes in, the bomb makes it towards the site.
Yeah, great recovery as well. They just got to keep Cbble away from Gabi. He's got to plant that bomb. There's Kiev. 10 seconds left, using all the timer. Good recovery after very sick opening from alternate. There's really nothing left into this round. Ooh, nice shot on aTTaX. They need to recover that AK-47, but they're going to do just that. So 2-0, surviving a scare is big.
That's so nice as well, though. Starting out from aTTaX on that sort of buy. The deep molly in towards the boost. It was smoked off eventually, so it kept a couple of players at least standing, but then the instant push-up, it's something that a lot of people kind of, don't not necessarily ignore, but CT-side aggression on Cbble against anyone is so hard. So to be able to do it that creatively, find new avenues, we saw that tri-nade coming out just during the event this week, so it's been really cool to see this.
Yeah, that Molotov especially, that's so cool because the peak forces them to fight in the Molotovs. So it actually gives the CTs a bit of an advantage where, I mean, yeah, every other time you do aggression on the CT side, it always feels like you're just kind of, you have to get a little bit lucky, a little bit fortunate. Regardless, this round should be easier as there's no armor on the CT side. You can see the MAC-10s, Kiev trying to build up some money to afford those AWPs moving forward. And all of Big is going to gather up together over towards this A-bomb site.
Marky on the other side. ECFN and Stefan all holding around here. At least they have the 3 players here. They could maybe get a gun away, maybe do a bit of damage. I don't see much more happening, generally just due to Big being so drilled as to how they play. I doubt it unraveling too much. We're going to see. Leggy is watching the back, keeping it all safe. Gabi aTTaX make the hit. Success on all fronts. Now towards the side. Stefan waiting. Oh, it's so well done, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just a wipeout now. As you could expect in this round, not a whole lot that Alternate's able to challenge with. So it is going to be 3-0, and the nice part is the SMGs get a lot of money. That's 4 kills on the SMGs, so all that bonus money is going to build up. And now we're going to get into that first gun round. It's going to be a pretty decent buy for Alternate aTTaX. Even in the second round, they didn't fully invest across all players. So they have an AWP, they have the M4s with plenty of utility. What they are lacking is kits and head armor against these MAC-10s.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got 2 MAC-10s and that UMP still on Gabi. That could be really troublesome considering there is, as said, no head armor.
You'd expect it to be a little bit faster pace. Look at the Molotov. That's a nice shot in the flames. That's well worth it. Can't get the follow-up, and he's just going to fall away. That slows things down a little bit. That's aTTaX out of the fight.
Oh, lovely play towards long. Marky now fell back a little further. He's left ECFN towards danger. Keeps got to be careful on this. I really hope he's got a plan in mind. Don't do... Oh my god, the adjustment on the peak. A great small change up there, going to make it very difficult. Marky has to fall back now. He has no real eyes towards the play that's coming towards A. They're going to have to pull players across. They don't necessarily have to commit either, Big. They still have so much time and good control.
Yeah, the tough part is they have no presence on the other side of the map, so they can't do anything to apply pressure to keep the defenders there. Alternate could cheat this one over, but they're unsure of what's coming, and Big has no way to really pivot. They can't get back towards the B-bomb site. That takes so long because you'd have to clear everything. So imagine this is just going to be a hit moving forward. It's slowed down, but Gabi lining things up over the smoke. He's getting his utility out in the choke points, and more work for Marky.
Marky can still do good work here, though. Cbble is well in a decent spot for it. Oh, that's not good enough. Leggy is going to be right there. Cracks open the site and open things really up for Big now. Cbble play on the verge of the smoke. Will straight it out eventually, but quickly enough, it all goes very well for Big. 3 against 2. It's not looking likely on the retake, but I don't think they know exactly where they are just yet. And Stefan's blocked off by a smoke. They don't have any kits on board. They only have 1 flash to play with. They need to kill them fast.
Yeah, they need to do it right now. Tizian's going to lead the way out, and he can't adjust in time. There's Nex with the follow-up peek, and that shuts it down, but Stefan's still going to go for this. He's out, he's going to push forward, getting dinked up. Too many different angles to clear. Nice round from Big, just slowly brute forcing their way into that A bomb site, helped out by a couple misses from Marky, which if you're an opper, you're going to be frustrated because he wasn't flashed out. Those weren't like, that was just players swinging wide on his AWP, taking the duel, and he missed a couple shots that he'd love to have back.
Yeah, the first one was great though. That was the thing, it looked really good at that point with that first shot.
Jumped up on the barrels with Kiev.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first shot in the fire was awesome, but the follow-up, it looked like he was even aiming for that barrels peak, and yeah, so it's just a little unfortunate those misses come out.
Is Kiev ever not going to have a Mach 10? Are we Kiev? You're just going to keep doing this the whole game through? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Also, aTTaX have no money to bite back in with, so...
Bonus round after bonus round.
Deagles, though, on the other side. Germans can use these, I'm not going to lie to you. It gets a little bit terrifying when it happens. We see it enough. If you watch any of the Meisterschaft, you'll be well and truly aware. Like, yep, now has to be a little bit careful. There's the first Deagle to connect. Oh, nice nade, though, following in. Ooh. There's the deny. Tizian eventually does fall, but a good bit of impact. 2 kills to be made, and still a possibility of more damage here. Marky, maybe you can land a couple of those shots this time.
Just the P250 against the AK is not too like, oh, he spots tabs, and that's an advantage for him, but immediately shut down. 5-0 for Big. Flexing their muscles.
They are very muscular.
Yeah, very muscular.
Yeah. Good job.
Marky's going to have the AWP one more time.
On the other side, so does Kiev. A nice spawn towards middle as well. Ooh, we could be seeing a little bit of battle here, but maybe he's going to back away from this. I think he's just going to smoke it out and fall off it. Yeah, nothing too much coming from this. Again, Nex and Legia working out towards B. Legia actually getting some really big ground covered here. Flashes, smokes allow him towards plateau. Now, Stefan and Tizian are close, but he's getting good info, and he loves doing it. Look at this. That little jump peek gives away so little, and he gets so much info.
It's just so dirty, isn't it? It feels wrong.
Just a dirty, dirty boy, Jason.
Either way, gonna fall back off of it. No real pressure applied to the defense just yet. It looks like they're just now starting. Gabi covering Tapson's play in towards mid, so really using Tapson as the tip of the spear, gain map control, gain positioning. Where do they go from here, though? Next rotating over, Legia still just watching for pushes out towards the B bomb site. Marky missed some critical kills in the 4th round. This one is massively important to get alternate on the board.
Yeah, Marky needs to deliver here. Looking for opportunities, see if there's a boost above the smoke, if someone's going to maybe make a bit of a crazy peek or something. You can see him kind of looking for it. Godby does this, he gets the idea of where to line up from. Has a little bit of look above the smoke there. But it's the 3 players building up on long that'll be the interesting factor to me. Marky needs to be kept safe by Stefan, and they could easily tumble off the back. He's a little safe for now, but Stefan, oh sorry, excuse me, ECFN needs to be on holding this. This gets terrifying now. You can see the execute comes in. Tapson gonna do what he does. Gets the first and looks for the follow-up. Leggy is there as well. Stefan falls. It's a whitewash. Big again, destroying alternate attacks.
Yeah, and once they get in, once they get that first defender, it's all over pretty much. It just snowballs from there. And actually, Marky wasn't safe at all. That defensive setup was a big mistake. I mean, you see the Opper out in the open. He's got no cover, and his teammate just unfortunately has too much being thrown at him, flashbangs, and as soon as he's blind for a second, it's got to fall back. So just by the setup, they pretty much lose that round immediately. But great job by Big. Patience, figuring things out. Great, I mean, Gabi even just throwing that nade over the top of that smoke, dealing some damage as well. This is very calculated, and Big not giving up a whole lot early on.
I wouldn't expect any less from them, though, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are holding up to the kind of reputation they've started to build. And the amount of fans I'm seeing start to come through from them as well. I've been seeing those big T-shirts throughout the event, you know, people really starting to get behind these guys. And I don't blame you. I love the story. I love the idea of it. Timeout comes in, they know what they're doing. We see a little bit of play to the crowd here. Not the same from the alternate attacks guys, a little bit quiet, a little bit muted, but Big. Let's see if we can get this one going. I want to start hearing the crowd a little bit more.
The thing as well, like we didn't touch on this too much, but you have to imagine the alternate attacks guys like don't have a lot of experience in these kind of pressure situations. Like Big just came from the major qualifier where, yeah, it's not a stage in front of all these fans, but the implications of where you get to play, the tournament that you get to play in for qualifying is huge. So alternate, those guys, this is probably the biggest stage, the biggest stakes they've ever had to play in front of.
Absolutely, and it's terrifying. It really is. They go to LANs, of course. I've seen them at LAN finals several times throughout Germany, and Take TV events. The Meisterschaft as well. That was held the last season. It was a really cool venue, but it's not this scale. You don't have all those thousands of fans staring at you. So let's be a little easy on them. But on the other side, Godby has had a illustrious history throughout CS in all of its iterations. These guys have played on stages, maybe not to this degree, but somewhat far closer than the opponent.
And he's also the family show guy.
Oh, I want to swear so badly.
Yeah,
How dare you?
That would trigger you.
How dare you? I don't want to start. Have you seen the bingo thing that people have got going around?
Yes.
ESL, why are you encouraging me to do this? Like, I'm trying to keep it together, but they're making it very, very tricky. Anyway, it's time to get back underway. The alternate attacks timeout has been completed. And 6-0 is a very condemning scoreline to come back into.
Oh, fast pace. They want to up it after the timeout. Lagia's going to turn the corner. He's a little bit blind. He's taking out a 3. He's got to be passive. Nade's going to come out. His teammates are following it up, though. And again, they're just wiping everyone out. No chance for alternate attacks. That hit is suffocating.
It really is. UCFN and Marky went aggressive on long as well. It looked like they were trying to get a little bit more presence, but pretty much screwed, aren't you? tabseN plays it through. ECFN, not a chance in hell. And this is just, it's so fluid watching him play the sites. And sadly for alternate attacks, they just aren't able to stop it. The damage has been done a fair bit. They can make it a bit costly, but at this point you need rounds on the board.
Keith hasn't even really had to do anything with this AWP, I feel like. He's had a pretty easy time
Has
of
he
it.
died yet?
No, he has not died yet. He has had the MAC-10, like you mentioned, like I think he had it like for the first 5 rounds of the game, but either way. 6-0. So keeping this Deagle alive, or trying to, is Marky, and he'll get away with it. But this next round, the guns that are going to come out for alternates, they have the full losing bonus. This is what the timeout was for. This is what they wanted to make sure they have, is a plan going into this round. How do they stop it? And the real thing they need to do is they need to get some opening kills on the CT side. They, outside of that one pick from Marky, they haven't been able to get it again. They haven't been able to follow up on anything.
No. It's it has been a little bit one-sided. A double AWP is seemingly one of the answers they've come through with, but I wouldn't put it past Cbble to be able to be aware of this. Marky goes for it again. This time, no one there, not to be found. And look at the quick play up middle. They know the play that maybe was happening when they hear that flash on long tabseN right at the front. Just around the corner, the molly goes in, and they know what's happening now. The player's well aware by A, and it's actually ECFN finally to get one. Untraded yet as well.
Yeah, I think tabseN actually blinded himself, so Keeve's going to make his way up first. The AWP trying to be an entry.
Here?
tabseN has found himself in an incredible position. Yeah, Big need to just freeze. They need to just call a halt, let tabseN create something. There's Keeve with one, looking for more, but tabseN's at the other bomb site, and there's GodB over towards B. How has this happened? This round is just disintegrated. Alternate had everything, but great mid-round decision-making, and there's Keeve's first death.
2v2 retake time, and tabseN, he wants in on this, doesn't he? Oh, he gets punished. Crispy gonna do it now. GodB, the 1v2 to defend the bomb site and keep this clean. The family show awaits, and GodB dances right, and one more to the left. 9, but oh, he gets it done! Sick play from GodB.
And the crowd goes wild. 2 sick headshots from GodB. He was such a good clutcher at the qualifier as well. This is incredible, and you have to really feel for alternate.
All right, the crowd's starting to wake up. Alternate attacks, not having a nice time so far. Welcome to the big stage, boys. It's not for everyone. Legia, though, fancying again the chances, working through. It's the braces time, not so much instant aggression, of course. A slower approach for now, but already drop pressure starting to build. Molly goes in, spray comes out. You can see they are close.
This change of pace has been so tough for alternate to deal with. Every time Big decides to go fast, they're not quite prepared for it. It just throws the defense into just awkward positioning. When they slow it back down again, and tabseN is allowed to have so much room to work with on this map. He's had everything he wanted. When he goes up mid quickly, no one to stop him, and yeah, this is going to be deadly.
If he can find the timing or the set piece, you can see the smoke's going up. Wait to see if they actually go on this. I have a feeling they're going to back off this one. They've applied so much pressure for so long, they could leave tabseN as a sick rotate. Legia can keep some presence and just, you know, maybe make some noise now and then. But then GodB, Nex, and Keeve, they're taking so long, this kind of loses a little bit of its power at this point. 30 seconds, they're gonna have to go pretty soon here.
Yeah, it looks like alternate wants to actually pressure tabseN to retake that, but it's not gonna happen. Great kill from tabseN, and this is pretty much the A bomb site is just lost, isn't it? Look at all these nades streaming out. Marky has so much work, and he's only got a UMP doing what he can. tabseN does fall, and actually Yeah, it is filmed down to 15 seconds, but they've finally done it. They've taken it over.
Yeah, we've got B flashed in on the cross. I felt there was a chance that maybe someone could have done something during that time, but no, they get through. The cover was there, the support was there. And again, you're left with 2 players trying to play back into this with no real step towards it. 1 kit, but no utility, no flashes. And they're out of there. This is big, just showing sheer dominance and proving why they are building that ever so terrifying reputation.
Yeah, tactically just outplaying him.
What?
That's a cool shot. It's like some alternate universe. It's Crisby gonna get dropped by Kiev. 1 more here. Just making sure these guns can't be saved, and so much pressure on Stefan. Kiev's going to hold the angle, and he hits the shot down to 15, pulls out the pistol, but actually that's a nice kill. That's a good find. The AWP at the end, and he's got a couple guys closing in on him, and no, they don't do it in time. They were just there turning the corner. 9-0 though for Big. Oh, we're back.
That's what it was. I thought I was just drunk. It's a little early. I haven't had any kush yet. I was just like, please, go back to reality. 9-0 though. Reality isn't something that Alternate aTTaX are enjoying thus far. Big are putting on a brilliant show for us, though. They're showing exactly what they can achieve. Leggett's going in for it again. This man is bold and brave, but he's got to be careful, as there are a lot of players looking his way. Already Stefan in towards the corner on the left. The Molly didn't quite reach it, which could maybe be an issue. He might not check for it, but everyone else is going towards a site. Molly goes in, Tapson doesn't get Tapson! What? How? How has this happened? Neither of them know what's going on. Oh God, and the rest of the team are baffled. What on earth is that?
I'm baffled. I have no clue what just happened there. Tapson somehow goes through the flames. Legia is down to 6 HP over towards B, and all the rotation for the defense is on, so this is where you want to see the genius of another mid-round call from GOB. Still alive, still with the bomb as well. The unfortunate part is Legia 6 HP doesn't want to make a move. Now the nades come in, see if they can get 1 more pick. They have plenty of time to do whatever they want.
I'm watching GOB in that smoke. He's actually found Crisby anyway, which is the more impressive factor. Now the smoke's dissipated, the problem comes in from the back, but Tapson, he's so attentive, so aware of the possibilities, and the dink isn't enough. That's Tapson again. This guy, whenever they need it, he is right there. Even when he ran past players.
Yeah, even when he goes past players, even when he allows 2 kills to come out, yeah.
He makes up for it.
I'm assuming he's just looking away from a potential flashbang, and that's how he doesn't see Tapson get by, but oh well. Works in a lot of different ways, but that's the thing. I mean, Tapson, even if they're not playing him outplaying him tactically, Tapson is just such a good player right now. Even for the tier 1 players, he's a hard guy to handle, so putting on a show here for the crowd. Brought down a little bit lower. 4 players on the defense inside the B-bomb site, and it's another round where they just have a really, really tough buy. 4 deagles, 1 scout. Trying to keep, when you have a buy like this, you have to keep them at range. You want to take those long-range duels. Next gets a kill. GOB gonna take over drop all on his own. Spraying at the long range. It's not gonna connect. There's the scout to chime in, but that puts him in such an awkward spot. Oh, nice 1 deag, but that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, made to do the splits after that. Marky, you got anything for us here? 3 players, 3 bullets, 3 clicks of the mouse. It's all easy. Just, you know.
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
That's
just
how
decide to do it. Yep.
You gotta shoot some heads, Jason. You know? It's not hard. Mark is going to show us how. Here we go. I believe. I don't anymore. I lied. It's next to shut it out, and Big. I don't know what more to say. These guys are just going through the motions.
Yeah, and they can just keep it pretty simple from here and just kind of, yeah, it doesn't have to do anything complex, even though they've had some great mid-round calls. At this point, I think you can just overpower them, can't you? You've kind of proven that you have the skill to do it.
So more of a competitive match out Team UK out in Australia. This isn't looking so good. Marky, you had 1. Oh no. You had a good time before, didn't you, Marky? You're thinking, oh, maybe I can do it again.
I'll go back to that one thing that worked before.
And this
Shut
time,
down.
Denied.
Next up, here's Tapson, ready for that peek. He's gonna, like, look at this. He's just gonna keep going. Beats the Molotov, loses the fight though. But still, GOB's the next one up, fighting for it. There's a good spray down, some potential here. A 3-on-2. You love to see this.
All right, Kiev got the AWP, got utility, has a bit of room to work, a little bit, tiny bit. But look at Legia, he's buying space, he's building a way into this. Stefan could play into this, he could jump down. It's all about timing now. ECFN's going to give away a little bit of the game here, but Kiev is slowly working up, and Legia, he's looking for this one. The flash comes in. Oh, Kiev! The 180! Destroys him! And now it's a 2v2. Stefan, next port of call. Can they find him? As Tizian now going to build his way up. Good flash. They're looking for this.
Oh, this is going to be so awkward, all down to timing, getting into the bomb site. 40 seconds on the clock. There's still time for Big to do whatever they want. Flashbang's raining out. They still have a Molotov, and Legia's worked his way in towards
They
connector.
baited this so well.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, Kiev's en route. This is amazing.
Smart play from Legia, just getting into connector, pretty much cutting off the rotates, opening up that B bomb site, securing it for Kiev's passage. And although he does choose to go down drop, which I feel is a little bit bold.
And this could be the problem. Return fire comes in. Kiev, you need to consider getting that bomb down, my friend. 10 seconds remaining. The spray comes out. Not going to find his target, and Legia is there again. This is the guy you want doing this sort of work. Molly to return. He might have to swing on this one. Oh, nice from Tizian. Okay, we're down to a 1v1, and Kiev is damn low. But he does have the AWP, and he does have an angle.
Yeah, he's got that platform position so strong for Opper. Smoke's going to come down. Molly out on stairs as well. Kiev, he's got to commit to this. He doesn't know he's off the bomb, and there it is. Tizian gets alternate attacks their first round of the half.
Do you believe, Jason? Come back on. It's all gonna go well.
No. No, Lauren, I do not.
You're just
I'm in one of those
you're
moods
hurting my
this morning,
feelings tonight.
Yep.
You know? Oh, one round, though, for alternate attacks. Their money's still not outstanding. UMP, Mag 7. Do have utility at least and some kits.
Yeah, this, that's, the crazy thing is Big, even at a man disadvantage, so makes the perfect call in that kind of a situation. Still puts them in such a good position to win the round. Alternate attack, yeah, they do win it, but they haven't been able to build anything. Like, they have to win the next 3 rounds if they want a chance in the second half. And if Big resets them here, it's likely just a 14-1 half right off the bat. So, very, very dire situation for the defense.
So they haven't played with us today now. Tabson begins looking towards drop. Molly's go in. Nade already went out. This normally is that nice crunch towards B. You see a couple of players are trying to take the fight there from alternate attacks. So they have got some platform presence. Not much. Legia's already there on that sort of case. Nade comes in. You can see Tizian doesn't feel comfortable yet. He's looking. He's trying to find someone, but no one's really showing yet from Big.
There's a time limit on when this play from Tizian can actually work. He's pretty much going to have to fall off of it right now as that smoke fades. Tabson covering his drop with the bullets, but still Alternate's going to know that this is a possibility. And they have a great defense set up at the moment. 4 players here at the B bomb site. Tough part is going to be making sure the crossfires are effective. Tizian falling off of platform as well.
They're running this so low as well, Big. They're down to 30 seconds. Testing the patience, alternate attacks, and Godby shows towards drop. Not really committing too much to it. Just occasionally going back and forth, keeping Crisby humble, unable to make a play towards window.
They gotta go. 19 seconds left. This is craziness. The smoke's just now fading. Everything has to go right for Big, and it's not. Marky gets the opening kill. They have to run through Molotovs as well. It should be a second round. Indeed, 10 seconds left. They're not even at the bomb site quite yet, but he looks confused as he falls, and they could get the bomb planted, but it's just Kiev, and it's over now. He can't plant. They just need to stay alive. Great utility usage by Alternate to really, really run that clock down.
Mollies were there. The flashes were kept. It was actually pretty impressive, to be honest. It worked out well for them in the end, and finally seeing maybe Big having a couple of issues, not quite having that easy walkthrough yet, you know, being hindered, being slowed down a little.
Yeah, good to see them challenged. AWP out in Marky's hands. Still, he almost lost that at the end. He was taking some duels with Keith. He wanted to fight. He's quite keen. Well, this is a little bit faster pace. Godby doesn't want to run out of time again. He's already spotted the shoulder as well. Easy kill. Just go for the rush down drop, boys. Tizian's going to try and hold it down.
The timing.
Yeah, you can't do that with the nade. You can't enter with the Molotov.
Getting thoroughly punished as the Molly will go in. It's a 2v4. It's this stack towards B that's starting to work. Oh, God, the Molly works and Leg is there. It's a 2v2. The Dudley duo might just do it again. ECFN, though, going to stop it before it starts. It's Legia now. Great. What?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It goes so wrong for him. You can see it all over the face.
Oh, that's painful.
Yep.
Don't like watching that.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, I do hate to see it. Where's that flashbang? Is that Legia's flashbang? I think that was his teammates, actually.
I think it was a team.
Yeah.
Oh, life is tough.
It certainly is this morning. 3-11, alternate making what comeback they can.
Yes, quite the glittery performance so far from Big. Sparkling their way through this game. ECFN though, gonna walk away from long, doesn't want to stick around too long, enough pressure's been pushed on, and the fact is it's a 4-1, so he can't be taking risks, he has to just feel out the game. And at the moment, this is a good approach from Big. They know they've been stacking over by B. If Legia can keep attention there for a good while, you can make great progress up long, you can make a quick play off the back and make people like ECFN incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's been allowed to just be alone here because they haven't applied any pressure towards this A bomb site in the past two rounds or so. So I mean that's why you're seeing this stack. So another switch up here, and they're already starting to cheat one back, but he's staying to kind of keep his eye on drop. I mean that's the thing. They feel like they have to be so dedicated to one site. They have to use so much of their defensive resources to defend the B bomb site that A is just very, very susceptible. And there's no information here. Big could just walk into the bomb site and get a plant. They don't know it quite yet. But they're basically there already. Yeah, they're entering the site right now, and there's only one player down in mid.
Yeah, tabseN's in a really nice forward position. ECFN can do damage here, but Legia seems aware it could be a possibility, and oh, he doesn't check it well enough. And while that happened, tabseN won out as well. So again, you're going to see this looking so very good, at least for the moment. There is a potential retake coming in, or at least of it working, should I say. They need to go for this. There's the first denial. This makes it incredibly hard now. Two players to play back through this. They need someone to go incredibly big, and that's a good step from Cbble. Molly to follow, but time is starting to tick. It's starting to wind this round up here. And where is Marky? Where's the help coming through? He takes the fight towards long. He gets tagged in return, and oh, he just can't land it, can he?
Oh, there it is. He finds one there, taps the defuse, sprang through the wall, almost gets it, but Nex is going to finish him off. A good half, a dominant half from Big, 12-3.
I think this is kind of what we started to expect between these two. Big in this environment will rise to the occasion. Alternate attacks need to bring more. It's simple as that. There's not much more to say, so we're going to take a short break, and when we're back, we'll be joining the second half. Big have lived up to their name, putting up a huge performance here at ESL One Cologne. Of course, this is for the Meisterschaft, however. It might be a bit confusing, but it's a nice way to start the day. Warm up those German fans, get them ready for that grand final not too long away. But against them, of course, is aTTaX, and they've been a little quiet. They did manage to claw back 3 rounds.
They've been very quiet, we'll put it there, but I mean, it's not really their fault, is it? Big has just played this so well. I mean,
yep.
the map, the performance they put out on the T side is just so incredible, the way they were able to manipulate things. So it was always going to be a tall task. And again, Alternate as well is going to keep things simple on this. Pushed on a lot of players over towards this B bomb site, so much utility, and Tapson's completely blinded. He's bailed out. Thank you, God. B's going for more. They're completely blind. He gets another. He's held them back for a while, and there it is, a third, a fourth for God B. He can ace the pistol round in front of the home crowd. At this point, you gotta let him go for it. Moving, there it is! The hometown hero!
Absolutely perfect work from that man. He's been in this stadium before, but it wasn't a play. He joined the desk. He saw what he could have in the future, and his team have been working towards this. And what a moment for him.
That's so sick. That's got to be one of the better feelings you can ever get in life. Hometown crowd chanting your name after an ace on the big stage. God B. Going to have a lot more pressure applied to him here, and not going to overcommit. Although the nade is not the best decision we've ever seen. So now the B bomb set is under a lot of pressure, and it's going to fall.
Look, he's very hyped up right now, and he's just... Deep breath.
That's the thing. The excitement can be such a... It can punish you, actually, if you get hit. I mean, it's just, you feel so good. You're going to take more fights and everything. But great round from Alternate with the Tech 9s.
Yeah, going to bring Big right back down now as well. You're going to have adrenaline after that. You have thousands of people out there in the audience just chanting your name. He's going to get a little pumped up. So it's time to just, all right, let's go back to God B, where I just kind of chill out, just going to slow it down. Very calm, very cool under pressure. Now, for aTTaX, so this gives them a decent run here. They're going to get decent money. They're going to push the economy side of things down for Big. So this is a good opportunity for them to show what they can bring on T side.
Yes, that's at least a very good thing for Alternate, is that they have now that cushion where they can show off a bit. I mean, at least work with some of the things. I mean, you mentioned at the beginning, Tapson had said that Alternate had been preparing for this map, for this team specifically, for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. They had a long time to prep for this. So at least you get to test some of the things that you'd worked out, see what's working, see what's not. Still a long road back to contend for this match.
Gonna go for a little look, maybe towards drop. Carefully done by Tabson, not to show on the initial jump up either, not fully committing to it yet. Can fall off the stilt. Oh, this is naughty. Here we go. Tabson now has to jump up there. Good damage. Not bad at all. As ECFN, Marky, and Crisby are a little lower. Those, the Scout, the CZ, and the Deagle does get a little bit problematic, but they should be okay. Playing through Plat now, you can see the side of pouring. It's God B again. Don't you dare do this to us. He's dancing with danger. Oh, God B. One more bullet would have done it. He could have done so much work, but next is there. There's the try. Oh, and again. God B. He wants it all.
Why not? One more time. Feels big, man. That's so good.
Sounds like not the first time you've said that, Jason. 14-4. We are now getting towards the, I guess, the pointy end of this matchup, right? It's starting to get a little bit worrying for aTTaX. You lose those rounds, you start to feel like you can't do anything right. They had one shot to get really back into this.
And it's got to be, again, like the dagger in the heart, isn't it?
You can't even hate him either.
Well, the cool thing, yeah, no, you can't. That is, you absolutely cannot. But the cool thing about that round is actually he's screwed in that situation when he misses those shots. It's again another time. I mean, he did it to Tapson on the pistol round, covering him perfectly, bailing him out of a tough spot. And this time around, I think it was Kiev with the Scout who gets the one kill on the player that's swinging wide to take out God B. And from there, the round would probably be over. So just that one play from Kiev allows God B to be the hero, and that's great teamwork out of Big.
Nice try. Not this time. Smokes, flashes, it's all coming through. Tapson able to avoid a little bit of it, but catches the last. And no one's actually come through yet, though. You can't see, there isn't a real commitment yet from the aTTaX boys. They're playing a little slower. Oh, dear. All intentional.
All part of the plan. Yeah, it is going to be this. It almost feels like Big wants to do some kind of a split towards the A bomb site. The bomb's over there, although it is rotating back now. So maybe changing things up, or maybe just saying since we got Gabi and drop, the B defense is going to be a little bit weak. tabseN still with presence though, running out of utility. This is going to be one of the last 2 flashes they have. He hears the footsteps, throws it out. There's Legia. Can't get more than 1, but tabseN can respond. He's in good position, falling back as the hit comes in. He's got too much to do, and he's got no HP to fight with, and he's just going to get taken out.
And Keem now. 8 seconds. There could have been a fight there for him, but no. aTTaX again. You know, stifling Big there at the moment of impact. So good work. 5-14 though. A long road ahead of them. Money's pretty tight now for the Big side. It's what? Upgraded pistols, bit of utility. They're going in on it.
They won one of these rounds just previously, right?
Yeah.
So why not? And you have a lot to play with, so no real risk here. And Alternate's had pretty measured T-side so far. Very, very slow-paced, allowing a lot of the utility to run down. But this one, it looks like they want to pick up the pace. They're already out upon the B-bomb site. There's Crisby. He's wheeling his way in. tabseN misses some shot, gets a nice dink. Godby can finish it off. Can he be a hero again? 3 rounds? No, not this time.
But the damage.
Yeah.
He's tagged up 2 players pretty heavily. These Deagles get a little bit scarier as this occurs. And just 1 shot to hit. That's all they ask for, but you're not going to get it for free. Legia nading in. He's going for this, isn't he? He's not going to wait back. He's found room to play through the smoke. That's a good flash too. As he made it this far, yeah, finally they shut it down. That got a little scary for a while. Now Keeve's kind of out of opportunities here. There's just too many alive simply enough. Almost near on impossible to ever get any isolated 1v1s that could ever equate to winning the round.
Yeah, even with the low HP, that being able to position yourself on platform on those stairs, the headshot angles just kind of negates the fact that you're low HP. It still has to be, it's still an incredibly difficult shot to hit. He can get some exit kills if he's fortunate with the timing. Here's the footsteps, tags him up, 20 HP, and he goes for more. He's going to get it. AK-47 loss for Alternate. Now Keeve would love to be able to keep this one, and I don't think they're going to hunt him down. There is 1 player nearby, but he doesn't seem too dedicated to the hunt. Yeah, he's only got 2 HP as well. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm all right without that.
Yeah. Can't even criticize that one.
Nope. Let's see. Again, the buy coming in for Big. Well, a light purchase, should I say. P250s, a couple of nukes essentially being brought up here, 4 nades. Let's see where they go with this. Let's keep an eye on the Big side. Legia does have 1, so he might just drop his out at some point, or this could be just that kind of instant nade stack out towards that plateau, or maybe deeper ones. We'll see what they go for here. There is 1 smoke on Keeve. That could be put into use, but only 1 of those nades really used so far, that from Legia. Now Marky starts to have a little look through towards middle. He waits. Legia backs away. He has no armor, so he can't really sustain an extended fight, but you can see the instant rotate coming in. They just want to get 1 player away. If they're able to do that, that's a gun recovered. They can actually work with this. You can see the nade's being committed in. Slightly softening Marky, but a very crisp connection.
That was just like a casual go for a stroll from Legia. Keeve, this would have been great. The AK-47, they went right at him. That was kind of the design plan from Big. Doesn't work out either way. So Alternate's going to get their 7th. Still showing some fight. That coach is fired up. He's getting there.
And a lot of this for aTTaX is starting to feel confident. You've been really pushed down. You're on a big stage. It gets a little scary, gets a little nerve-wracking. You want to be able to feel a bit of confidence. Feel like, okay, we actually can do this. We can bring a game back here. 14-7 is making it certainly look so, but the buys come in for Big. It's not perfect. They're still UMPs, but they've made that choice just to get that utility, to be able to kind of sustain throughout these rounds. Now, I think he's going to be posted up on long. Keeve holding on the stairs towards middle. He can back away from this as well. It's not a bad angle, but all players from aTTaX are on the other side of that door.
This would be a big shot for Keeve. That flashbang is perfect, though, and actually, he's pretty deep in there. He's got to fight. I don't think he can get away from this. He's not prepared. He does get 1. That's the best you can do, I guess, in that situation. Awkward positioning. Change of pace from Alternate. It's Big who's caught off guard. They've slowed them down on the ramp in middle, but still a battle coming, and Legia, he's switching weapons as it comes in. Now they're crumbling. tabseN 1 last chance, and
God.
Yeah, that's painful. But Gabi, again, just holds down the fort. Doesn't he? A 3rd kill. Oh, he almost gets more, but he's done it. He's allowed them back in. Huge plays from Gabi in this half. Peace and global offensive.
I like the T-shirts as well, boys. We see the big fans. Gabi's getting the boys pumped up now. He's starting to feel it. You can see the happiness there. He's He's terrified when he gets like this, though. He's got such a good smile. You know, he looks like such a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy, isn't he?
And then he's just tearing people apart, like, get off my stage.
What is BIG is actually stands for Berlin International Gaming? Am I correct?
I don't know.
It feels right.
Doesn't mean it always is, Jason. Oh, dearie me. It's one of those days, isn't it? Anyway, we are into what could be one of the final rounds if maybe Godby gets a chance at it again. Who knows what he can achieve. It's not normally him at the forefront as well. He's normally quite one of the quiet guys, and you kind of give him that. He does enough, but he's that, you know, that leader, that general that takes these guys through it. But at the moment, he wants some of the fun. I can't blame him. 1 minute starts to get closed in toward as the smoke's starting to be put up. The final one's really from Big Hit. Alternate. Eyeing up their options.
Last chance for alternate attacks, lining up smokes, get themselves in a position, heavy presence and drop. This is an important battle. Here they come streaming down. Nexus blind. Him and Godby both fall, but Tabson's now got the position. He knows it's going to be a pinch towards the A bomb site. He's got to get kills. He gets one, but can't follow up. And now it's on Lagia, the response. He's got to hear these footsteps falling away, and he's just going to flank it out. He wants to get aggressive right behind him. This can be a very quick flank if he goes for it, and he has to make a play. But I think it slipped away. I think maybe this is just going to be a save. Key with the AWP.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see much more happening from this one. But you felt if there was a little bit more timing or just, you know, something went a little bit right for Lagia there with the two players backing away from middle, that could have been quite scary for alternate attacks. They were kind of getting towards that later part of the round where something falls apart, it all goes wrong. But really nice adjustment from alternate attacks to even keep, you know, keep in mind that B is, you know, where we can go. You get the right pressure in the right place, the right control. Everything looks good.
I mean, that was just, that's a great job just swarming down drop. I mean, sometimes you can see if that first kill happens, like the second player on the T side kind of stops and stalls out at the top and tries to take that duel. Both of them come streaming down, even checking for Nex underneath them after they clear out God B. That's quite nice. So putting themselves in a position to be able to make this comeback happen. And it'll be interesting to see if Big decides to invest in this round behind the AWP. They don't have a whole lot. But I mean, in that sense, since it's probably going to be a double save anyways, they might as well just invest into this round. So dropping some UMPs over. So yeah, all the power in this is obviously key with the AWP. You're probably going to want him to get maybe a little bit aggressive, maybe go hunt down that first kill. The UMP's no slouch, obviously. Keeve's going to take that op over towards B platform. Molotov to slow things down, and he wants to peek behind it. There's a flying. Oh my god. All right. See you later.
Tabson, did you learn? Keep your head down. Got the AWP at least. Not exactly the Alright, that's a shot. And with Tizian being blind, he can't really fight back into this yet. He's allowed the readjustment to come in, and a shot comes through. He's a little scared, a little worried as to what they can see. And the flash is great on it as well. Tabson and Nex doing it all. Stefan low, wounded, weak, and now it's on Marky in a 1v4, or Big will win the matchup here. The Meisterschaft season looking good for Big if this goes their way. The bomb's in their hands. Marky knows it. He's got to give everything in this moment and hope that something works, but so far it has been the Big show, and they want it to go their way.
It's been the God B show. How great would it be if you could close it out right here? Marky. This is just a desperate scenario. And yeah, God B underneath the smoke. He's going to finish it off. The captain. He started the half with an ace in the pistol round. Final kill as well to close out the match.
A good attempt from the alternate attacks guys, but Big, they look a cut above. They look too well rounded by this point. They've got such a great game they've just showed us, and you know it, there's more to it. This isn't even a map that they have directly in their map pool to the, you know, against tier 1 teams. So
listen, at a certain point, we're gonna have to drop this narrative that God B is like a tactical in-game leader, and that's it. That might have been true like a year ago in CS:GO, but I mean the way he was fragging at the major qualifier, the things he's doing here on this stage just now, yeah, that one's gone for me at least.
Yeah, and I guess the gaming house that Big are in out in Berlin, it's all starting to come together for them. Showing a great performance and a nice environment for them to have fun in as well, to get on these stages, show the fans, you know, that there is a really out there German scene that's coming up. We had a little bit of, you know, everyone's getting behind mouse for a little while, everyone started to get hyped, and then that kind of you know, became the Euro mix, right? It kind of went away from that. But now you got Big, and I don't know a single German fan who doesn't love how they play.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like, obviously. I mentioned it, I mean, it's great to watch. It's great Counter-Strike to watch. It's very, very cool to see the moves they make on the map, but also just the skill level of these players. If God B is going to be playing like this, he's going to be an exciting player. Tapson, one of the most exciting players we have in the entire scene, not just the German scene. So quite a cool team you guys have here in this region to get behind.
Yes, but with all that said and done, I do want to remind you guys it is a family show, but there is a God B interview coming up, so who knows what's going to happen. Red Eye, how's it going on down there?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much, Lauren. Yes, with God B, first, congrats. Job done, good game. I want to talk a few different items. Firstly, your own fragging. Moses is very impressed with the fact that you've come full circle almost. I remember you was a bit of a beast back in the day in 1.6. You were a fragger, weren't you? And then you've transitioned to this tactical, strategic leader, and we don't expect them to frag that much, but you're doing really well. Why is it? What's the secret?
The secret is, to be honest, when I started to play with mousebots, I just had 2,000 hours. I just had two less hours. Now I'm reaching almost 4.6 hours, like 4.6K. Yeah, and I think everything coming together, like learning more. I'm really good at aiming at the moment, like I'm feeling good, and the team is working very well, and obviously these kind of guys are also playing a role, and yeah, that's why we could play so well today.
Obviously, you're focused on the Meisterschaft to try and do well in Germany. It's an important league for you to do well in. I know that you've always put good importance on that league and playing in several German leagues in the past with ESL. But the focus for you right now has got to be on the major. So how have you coped with that? Because you were at the minor, then you were at the offline qualifier, now you're here, then you've got the major. How have you managed to cram so much in over the last few weeks?
It's always the same. We know in 1.5 weeks there's a big tournament coming up, at least for us. And then we succeed, and then we go back to our house, practice, go back to the next qualifier, succeed, and hopefully that will be the same at the major.
Okay, one final question. Have you been to the movies recently?
To movies? No.
Because I heard a story that you were at the movies, you went to see a film, and instead of actually watching the film, you just started talking about Counter-Strike strategies.
Who told you that? I don't know.
All right, I'm going to leave it there before.
It could happen, yeah.
Yeah, no, it could happen, couldn't it? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, God B for Big. They are the winners in our match. And don't go anywhere, there's still plenty more to come from ESL One Cologne.